Whenever you're ready.
I like to think that hurts you when you're reminded of me, that I could never know as of today I am forever changed. The image of you never dies and it hurts me inside. My weight gains, but I've lost so much else. In love with my proud, I could never admit it. At least I can be grateful in knowing that the evil is alive and well. Manifest, Manifest, come to grips. I'm caught between fate and living my own life. Reality can be indifferent, but owns life quality, thy judgment. At least I know I still crave contentment. Just because you're hurting or the void is overbearing, it's not ordained, not a holy calling. There is no right to fix another. Wrong for leaving, wrong for coming back. Dealing with reality when it's convenient. Nervous wreck, act like it doesn't happen. Go as if it's normal. Stay as if it never left. The fighting, the stabbing, the silence, the dark, the probation, the parole from the yard. The revenge from the plots. Now in despair, and here it comes. The dawn of denial, knowing that life itself too much to carry on. So there's solitude in the avoidance. Lived up and not knowing. Cutting everyone out that saw nothing but the humaneness. The elder in your love should have spoken. The sad experience is to wait for someone that won't exist. And nothing that one can do about it. Still it persists, the thought of you. I've been aching for days to relinquish this. Still it persists, the thought of you. I've been aching for days to relinquish this hurt, the only relief, to throw you under the bus. If there's a genie at the bottom, then she's going to listen to all my hurt. To what poetry should be telling, love exists. When you're healthy and living your own life, followed by how our potential will outlive us. I know it's not fair, but I don't think I can work it out. But oh, how these children are sweet and full of innocence. I find it hard that life begins on the other side of despair, when the pain is no more. Horrifying existence. At least this freeing experience has brought me obedience only to myself. Dear dreamer, it seems so real, just because one is running from the start. Don't get confused. That disenchantment is the truth. Truth is a loaded fire and is waiting for you. And there you go off. Salt on the road. Finding another path to drift in space. Had a chance, and that's all we remember you for. I've been told that I could be better. I've grown into my life, seeing others live their life. So I've kept myself in the background to what I didn't know until it was too late, that I'd been living my own life this entire time.
That's cool. I like it. Whenever you're ready.
There are losses in life that have no redemption or reparation, and sometimes looking back on the life we had is not that we weren't even looking for ourselves. We didn't even bother and made choices in avoidance, no amends, not even in eternity. To enter humanity for experience is experiencing the asylum. I mean, don't you know what you do? What you think and feel? Or even think in private? Why would you pay to keep that secret? My initial reaction in understanding was to laugh, but since then I had stopped and begun to cry. I don't know if I'm empathetic now. It weighs heavy in this broad burden. In consequence, judge those actions and never the intent. By gosh, no one reads your mind. The spectrum of wisdom has no limits, capturing the essence of freedom. Why should be the education come at a final point? The spectrum of wisdom has no limits, capturing the essence of freedom. Why should be the education come at a financial cost? Putting limits on someone's opinion is just proof that there's people who don't believe in freedom. To the popular opinion, you are fueling off shots of popular propaganda. I've been in government for years. I'm an individual of morality. I cannot impose them. A cry opens a choir of human. Sorry, start again. A cry opens a cry opens a choir of human emotions. A star with a vintage look. Perhaps I got to suffer together with you, so I could be in your presence a little longer. Maybe opening up a trauma bonding. I'm too embarrassed to the sober peer that I'm utterly lonely too, and do anything to escape myself. It's burning bush, but I know how emotions harass. To have faith, to believe, dream, or even to think, is to acknowledge that the bastard imagination. At least we can enjoy without the presence of another in our immediate space. Bearing the world, sinking into the feeling of being a little more at home, though it is a must to present to the world in utter whole insincerity. Despite of personal rationale, our emotions surpass to override anything. I'll start that again. Despite of personal rationale, our emotions surpass to override anything. And in my personal intelligence, I've discovered something haunting. Not my moral failings, but lack of drive to do better, subject to my emotional moment. In the void of who I am now and the potential awareness, I am without an ideal. Some say it's reality, as others say it's the experience of existence. I'm writing poetry.
Have a pause?
Yeah, I'll have a little drink. Let me know when you're ready.
Yep, whenever you're ready, man.
An endless conversation to have with myself, to what I am not doing, and it's silly not to talk to someone. The unreachable moment where I sit, then do everything I ever wanted to do or last ought to. But liberty is forever alive, somewhere internally, though I've never wrestled harder than dealing with my private anxiety. So my heart broken, not fine, still I try, hurry in a frenzy or everything drops to die. The pursuit for healthier living had brought an unexpected dilemma to produce morality or beauty. It's an intense despair, and I know this doesn't absolve my own past or relieve the memory of it. There is no poem that could ever heal a heart. You could try. Need to rest, about to know. I'll let you know, and yes, I'm alone. Though to live without reflection will commit constant sin. Can't hear it calling. Discovering a though to no one else had thought. Sorry, my apologies. I'll start again. Discovering a thought to no one else had thought of. The great philosophy, and finally we're alone, and turn to ask the question, what took me so long to listen? When that noise numbs down to silence and becomes restless for something new. Remember, you had overlooked so many healthy paths. Anguish now. Just don't write any poetry. I stepped into the new world with my eyes open. Yes, I knew what I was doing. Just didn't know how many would forsake me. Perhaps their misery is something that they can tolerate. I kept walking into the new world, and every bit of memory had taken forms of snakes. That innocent life lived. Sorry, I'll start again. That innocence life lived, becoming naivety and sweetness, immutable and ponder. finding you guilty of deafness and being blind. So we had to go figure. At the end of learning, does moral clarity have a price? Hitting switches to have I'd take. But do I have to forget about all the people I know without remorse? Just reach practical moral action. Perhaps at core is just a murder plan to sever from anyone I know the corner of a diamond. Do I forget everyone and leave them behind just to become healthier? The wrong I've committed when I knew better is passionate resentment towards myself. Your fate is kind of worse when nigh isn't seeking and finding yourself. Losing oneself at times, in soft-spoken times, when life passes through seemingly normality or what's attached. You are the person who has made those choices. A loss can be quiet, but you could have been unhealthy. But you could have been unhealthy while making those choices. Okay, sorry.
No, that's alright.
You know the guy in there?
Yeah, he's control.